On the news at 1, FCT Minister inspects projects at Kubo and Mabushi terminals. FCT Public Complaints Commission convenes stakeholders meeting on electricity supply. And NSCDC armed officers pass out after training. Hello there, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on the news desk of Channel 5 Abuja at 1. My name is Tessie Omeri. FCT Minister of State Dr. Maria Mahmoud has commended Channel 5 for propagating and promoting the activities of the administration. So the Minister said while receiving the management team led by the General Manager of the station, Paul Ate, as she highlights the wide audience reached by the medium, especially those at the grassroots. The report will come your way in our subsequent bulletin. The ongoing construction of bus and taxi terminals in the FCT will be completed in January 2025. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, gave this hint when he inspected the project at Kubo and Mabushi terminals. Onoze Yakubu has details.
3 months ago, precisely July, the Kubo and Mabushi bus and taxi terminals were flagged off. They have, however, reached appreciable level of completion. After being taken around the two project sites by the contractor handling the projects, the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, who was impressed by the level of work, assures of their timely completion, even before the scheduled date.
The time given to them is 15 months to complete the project, but with this plan and the contractor is going, we believe it will be before that 15 months. He has even told us that by January you'll be able to hand over these projects to us, this Mabuchi and the one at Kubo. The point of work you can see by yourself. If you were here when we flagged up the two, you know that they've really done very, very well.
The minister notes that when these ongoing terminals are completed, picking and dropping of passengers along the routes will no longer be tolerated. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
A stakeholders meeting aimed at resolving the impasse between the Public Electricity Power Supply Agency in the FCT and residents has been held. The FCT Public Complaints Commission loaded in at a workshop organized to review the complaints of electricity consumers. Howard Gimba tells us more.
Power is often referred to as the backbone of any industrialized nation, but can this be said of Nigeria with the intermittent supply of electricity to consumers? This is aside any related challenges faced by customers, such as high electricity bills and costs associated with obtaining meters. To patronize and tackle electricity issues in the Federal Capital Territory, the Public Complaints Commission, in partnership with the Office of the Representatives of the Amak Buhari Federal Constituency and the local administration, converged a stakeholders engagement forum with a view to deliberating on issues affecting electricity consumers in the nation's capital. Representatives of Amak Buhari Federal Constituency, Chinedu Obika, reassures FCT residents of his commitment to addressing these issues, expressing hope that other states will follow his example in resolving similar energy problems.
Why will AEDC and other discourse be different? Why will it be the poor communities that will contribute money, buy cable, buy transformer, mount poles, and even pay them to come and energize it? It's pathetic, and we cannot allow that to continue.
All other aspects of power industry in Nigeria, vis-a-vis power generation, transmission, and distribution, which the ADC represents, has completely failed.
The Chief Commissioner, Public Complaints Commission (FCT), Musa Diko, anticipates that the workshop will highlight the challenges faced by the consumers, encouraging the Nigeria Electricity Regulation Commission and other relevant agencies to take action in resolving the issues raised.
In our furtherance, our effort is to see how we can collect informations, do findings, investigate those findings, and see how we can relate to the National Assembly as a report for onwards deliberation by the National Assembly.
For the residents, this is a welcome approach.
Like truly, they've not been fair to us, most especially most of us, the indigenous people of FCT. They've not been fair to us. This is our land. This is our father's land. It is not our fault that it is now the Federal Capital Territory.
The Stakeholders Forum is a forum for residents to discuss issues as well as resolve issues, particularly that of electricity supply. Hawagimba, NTA News.
Described by NSCDC top echelon as a remarkable passing out parade, the 2024 Batch A of Basic Arms and Weapon Handling Training of the NSCDC FC Command has held at the command's headquarters in Abuja, with high-profile senior officers on ground. Kama reports that the ceremony showcases the ability of preparedness in the fight against crime in the FCT.
Today's ceremony brought together 135 newly trained officers who displayed impressive combat-ready skills, including tactical demonstrations and various weaponry showcases. It was truly a sight to behold as these brave men and women showcased their training and preparedness to serve the public. Commander Olushola Odumosu addressed the crowd, commending the newly graduated officers on their successful completion of the rigorous program. He didn't hold back in his praise, promising rewards for those who exhibited outstanding performance throughout their training.
Of course, you know that the Honorable Minister is doing so much in terms of infrastructural development, and changing the face of FCT. So Civil Defense have the mandate. We are the lead agency in the protection of critical national assets. And of course, this effort is geared towards securing those critical infrastructure and, of course, above all, safety of life and property for all Abuja residents.
What a reassuring message for the residents of the FCT. This marks the first arms training graduation of the year, setting a high bar for the standards and skills being instilled in the security forces. The training is not just a ceremony, it's a promise of dedication to duty and service. Kama, NTA News.
Still talking security, the Divisional Police Officer Asokoro, Chief Superintendent of Police Mike Ugwaboy, says the police, in synergy with residents in the provision of security, has given respite over time. The senior police officer was responding to questions on the weekly magazine program called The Police on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. Hakeem Ataliu brings us excerpts from the program.
CSP Mike Oguboy says the police have been meticulous and professional by continuously intensifying strategies towards controlling the flow of activities in Asokoro district, considering the peculiarity of the area as a hub for transits and engagements.
Before now, AYA has been a very serious black spot. Wherever there is a multitude of people, there is ban that a crime will definitely, take place there. And before my arrival, there were so high density of population, talking about hawkers, then criminal elements who use that one to cover themselves. What we did was to see how we can eradicate those human movement.
Yeah.
He adds that the command's tactical teams are constantly raiding black spots in aid of the buffer zones and the vision to dislodge suspected criminals hiding in plain sight.
As now, I think we have successfully done that. If you look at the VIO office, before now, that place was a real black spot. I think with our effort and with the cooperative of the stakeholder within that axis, and as it is now, the VIO side, the traffic light side, and of course, this other side opposite the Sky Bank, all has been cleared.
He advised residents to intensify consciousness on personal security, strengthening neighborhood watch, and desist from overexposure and display of wealth in the social media. In Abuja, Hakimat Ali, NTA News.
Let's talk health now. Nurses in the Federal Capital Territory are soliciting increased support from the federal government, highlighting their immense contributions to healthcare, families, society, and the economy. This call to action was made during the 2024 FCT National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives NAM celebration theme, Our Nurses, Our Future. Again, Hakimat Ali has more.
The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory honors nurses who embody the spirit of compassion and care in every healthcare setting. He recognizes the invaluable contributions of nurses in the FCT. The minister, who was represented by his permanent secretary, did an in-depth analysis.
There is the need to provide adequate ambulances to the hospitals, which the Honorable Minister has directed for all the city hospitals, including the general hospitals and the FCT.
The nurses used the medium to express their gratitude to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, for his unwavering support for nurses in the territory since assumption of office. However, they also reminded him of the shortage of nurses in the FCT, advocating adherence to the United Nations standard of 1 nurse to every 4 patients, rather than the current ratio of 1 nurse 30 patients.
To be honest with you, the most needed request now is the issue of recruitment of nurses in FCT. We are so much worried the way we have shortage in our hospitals.
In line with the theme, Our Nurses, Our Future, Chairman of the occasion, Minister of State for Education, Dr. Tanko Yusuf Sununu, assures that nurses are going to get increased attention, manpower, and social welfare.
There are a lot of powers in care, and it has a lot of economic value. And I quite believe that in our hospital, what we needed is what will provide a better care for our teeming patients.
I'm a nurse and I'm proud to be a nurse. But the challenges that are facing the nurses, not only in FCT but in Nigeria, one is peer remuneration, peer recognition. And I believe, and then poor working environment and condition. If you go to so many hospitals now, you believe that there is not much in the, especially the equipment. Most of the equipment are obsolete. So I'm appealing to them and the government too, that the government should do the needful, equip the hospitals, and also meet up with the needs and demands of the nurses of Nigeria.
The gathering is for the nurses to celebrate themselves, renew commitment as they continue to play a vital role in the healthcare system. A dinner and award night was also held to recognize contributions and support for the nursing profession in Abuja. Hakimat Ali, NTA News.
You're watching the news at 1 on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. Still to come after the break. Correspondent takes a look at road dilapidation in Gwarimpa. These and more when we return. Do stay with us.
Good evening. Glad to have you join us.
Thanks for joining us on Weekly News Wrap.
Thank you very much for having me.
And it is on that note we welcome you to today's edition of the program.
I will celebrate creativity, lasting impressions.
There's no book stating that this is the role for men.
On the news.
On the news at 7.
The latest station, NTA Channel 5, Abuja.
Would say have a lovely day.
Thank you for staying tuned. Have you heard about low-code and no-code development? Well, it is one of the latest technologies which experts say is a game-changing approach to building applications. In this special report, Toiba Anifowoshi examines how this tech is democratizing software development, empowering non-technical users, and transforming industries.
Low-code, no-code development refers to an advancement in technology, which experts say makes it easier to come up with applications with minimal or no codes at all, just like this young programmer.
Low-code, no-code tools have been a game changer for me as a programmer. It is more like a building block that makes my work easier and faster. So instead of me having to write code from scratch, I get to use visual interfaces to drag and drop elements. It also helped me connect more with my non-tech colleagues in the sense that it makes it easier for them to contribute ideas to projects that we have ongoing. But don't get me wrong, I still require my tech expertise and skills for more complex jobs. But for the less complex ones, I think the low-code, no-code tools have been really effective because it makes me deliver to clients on time and also saves time. So I would say it's just like having a bit of superpower as a programmer.
The specific name low-code was not put forward until 2014 when it was used by a tech industry analyst for Forrester Research. However, experts agree that the origins of low-code tools are much older, with the earliest low-code tools appearing in the 1980s and 1990s.
Take for example, you have a business, you're just starting up, you sell clothes on WhatsApp, you sell cosmetics and all. You just need a website to put out your brand out there, right? So this gives you an easy and accessible platform for you to build your branding page with a very minimal cost. So the cost too is also part of the potentials, right? So you can get to just, for example, visit Wix. You get them for as little as $20. You have your site out there, right? And you can share this across to your clients for them to see your catalogs and all.
A survey carried out by KPMG reveals that 53% of companies using low-code in Europe, Middle East and Africa have made good progress in reducing their development costs. And 55% said they have been able to reduce their IT backlog. But like most technologies, it is not without its challenges.
The problem is that this low-code, no-code gives you a set of templates most of the time for you to work within the template. And even if you decide to build from scratch with this platform, you are only limited to the widgets and the widgets and the design patterns which they provide for you.
For Nigeria, experts believe that this technology is critical in enabling digital transformation. In Abuja, Toyiba Anifowoshi, NTA News.
In the pre-colonial Nigeria, people lived in culturally moral societies with strong nation states. However, the annexation of Nigeria as a British colony before the independence altered a lot. The nation's capital, Abuja, like any other part of the country, was also affected. Let's now join Abdullahi Ajia to tell us more about the people of a place now called the Federal Capital Territory vis-a-vis their cultural diversity and reception of all Nigerians in the city center.
Everybody wants his culture to be known, and everybody knows that we have culture in FCT.
There is no gainsaying that Nigeria's socio-cultural diversity remains a unique attribute of strength for Africa's most populous black nation, standing thick with more than 50 languages and 250 dialects and ethnic groups across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country.
Culture is life, and there is no alternative to development except we trace backwards our cultural values, our roots.
From the period that predates the creation of the entity called Nigeria to independence and post-independence eras, Nigeria's ethnic nationalities have mutually existed with one another through trade, marriage, and war conquest. Of course, as Nigeria celebrates its 64th independence anniversary, one issue that readily comes to mind is the issue of social and cultural diversity of the people. The FCT story is one important story when we talk about the melting pot and center of unity, and the Garki chiefdom that has existed for centuries plays an important role in bringing about Nigerians from diverse culture and accepting them as Nigerians.
If you come into Abuja now, we have been able to have an umbrella that have been able to accommodate other ethnic and tribes and their religion. How do we make it? We have been able to have an ethnic or tribal community leaders like Yoruba, Igbo, Hausas, Fulanis, Efik, Ibibio, mention them. Most of these ethnic will have their community leaders, whereby we converge and discuss how we'll be able to maintain peace and order.
These nation-states that existed as empires, dynasties, and kingdoms have become more united as one people with common ties of cultural and historical backgrounds, irrespective of differences.
Our culture is our history.
It's not been easy keeping the cultural values and identity alive, owing to the pressure that is mounted on these persons over the years. And the rapid development and growth have been the culprit of trying to do away with our rich cultural values.
Nigeria's cultural identity around her diverse cuisines have also gained global acceptance. Another bonding commodity in Nigeria and for Nigerians is the kola nut, eaten and accepted by all. Abuja today has become a model for promoting Nigeria's socio-cultural diversity, serving as a melting point, even with the 9 indigenous ethnic groups that are found in Abuja, living for many centuries. From the drumbeat of the Gbagis to the rhythm of the Gwandara people and the enthralling display of the Gedes, or the muscular dance of the Basa tribe, the chorus, Gana Gana, Muamua, and the Ibira people spread across the 6 area councils show a people with rich cultural heritage and history united in a place that today depicts unity in diversity.
Even the whole chiefdoms, this is what we have been operating, because we feel that Abuja has come to stay and we must have to try to accommodate other Nigerians and even international communities.
From time immemorial, historical records show that the indigenous people of the FCT have lived together in unity, even with the coming of Abuja as the federal capital city. The cultural renaissance is being upheld. Whatever tribe or ethnicity you profess, respondents say Nigeria's unity and diversity has come to stay, and it is one area or aspect that should be promoted for the country to benefit more as we celebrate our 64th independence anniversary.
We now take you to the world of sports for Sports Brief.
Veteran sports journalist Kayode Adeniyi has been appointed General Manager NTA Sports Channel, bringing his wealth of experience to role. Adeniyi, a two-time chairman of the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, SWAN, FCT chapter, promises to elevate sports broadcasting in Nigeria. His appointment takes effect immediately. The 2024 Nigerian Premier Basketball League tip-off on October 25, defending champions Rivers Hoopers will face stiff competition from Lagos Legends, Police Batons, Delta Force, Kwara Falcons, Comets, Oluyole Warriors, and Hoopers, and read in the Atlantic Conference. The top 4 teams from each conference will advance to the final 8. Under development, Nigeria's under-20 football team, the Flying Eagles, is gearing up for the Wafu B under-20 tournament in Togo. Coach Aliyu Zubairu expressed confidence in his team's readiness, citing intense training and strategic friendlies. The team aims to defend their title won in Niger Republic 2 years ago. With Sports Brief, Asabe Williams, NTA News.
And that concludes the news at 1. But before we go, a quick look at our major highlights. First, we reported that FCT Minister has inspected projects at Kubo and Mabushi terminals. We also brought you a report that FCT Public Complaints Commission convened stakeholders meeting on electricity supply. And that's it. We'll have more news at 7. We thank you for watching. Good afternoon.